Aloha, everybody, and welcome to your first episode of Hawaii Army Education Talk. I am one of your hosts today. My name is Lisa Chung, and I am the Supervisory Education Services Specialist. And we are going to talk everything education today with you all. And I have our Education Services Officer, Mr. Tony Castillo. Hey, boss.
Hey Lisa, how you doing?
How's it?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm excited that we're doing this today, our first Hawaii Army Education Talk. This was a great idea you had, Lisa.
Sometimes it just happens
Every now and then.
every now and then. And as I mentioned, we're going to be talking everything education today, and give all the folks out there a brief introduction to some of the services that we have. But before we go into that, let's talk a little bit about why we're doing this podcast.
Well, as you know, like you mentioned, and we'll discuss, we have a number of education programs that we do, a lot of programs here. And we want to make sure that all the soldiers, family members, basically our Hawaii Army Ohana, know what services are here and that they take advantage of these services because they may PCS to another installation and they may not have some of the services that we have here because we're unique. As you know, we are the #1 education center in the Army.
Number one.
Hello.
And speaking of number one, we are actually located as of right now at the Schofield Barracks Education Center. We have our front reception office right here, our amazing admin ladies. I'm not sure if they're here waving, and while they're currently servicing soldiers, which is what we do. But this is the Schofield Barracks Education Center. We are located in Building 560, right behind the bowling alley, second floor to the library and Kole Kole Avenue, for those of you who don't know. And we have another education center at,
Yes, so we have our Tripler Education Complex, and they're located at Building 102, just below, up the hill and just below the hospital there, where we try to mirror every service that we have here at the Schofield Education Center. We try to mirror that at Tripler.
yep. So we do have two locations for you guys, on the island of Oahu. And we do offer counseling services Monday through Friday, from 9 to 5. It's fully walk-in, no appointments necessary. And we are available in person, by phone, or by email. And so with that, we're going to move on to our next segment, which is some of the things that we do here at the education centers. So I have a list, boss.
Yeah, but speaking of segments, let's
Oh,
let them know for sure that one of the purposes is we can't conceivably cover every program that we have today, but we're going to run down everything that we have. And then in future podcasts, the idea is to go over one at a time and give you more context, more information about those programs.
yeah.
So Lisa, go ahead. Drum roll.
A drum roll, and I have my list, and I will go through this list. And let's start off with, so
You know what,
yeah,
Lisa? You know what? Before we go over the programs, why don't we talk about the 6 colleges that we have on post, and
sure.
then we could tie the programs to the college. What do you think?
Great idea.
Yeah. Why don't you start us off?
All right, well, let's talk about our on-post schools. We have six schools, and they service both our Schofield Barracks Education Center and at Tripler. We have Grand Canyon University, which is one of our newer schools.
Yes, absolutely. Grand Canyon University. They actually do something else for us, which they sponsor our tutoring program that we'll talk about, we'll mention earlier. We also have University of Maryland Global Campus, one of our newer schools as well.
Yep.
Lisa?
And then we also have Wayland Baptist University. And speaking of Wayland Baptist University, they are actually one of our senior on-post schools. They've been with us for decades, and so we are really happy to continue that relationship with them. Um, yeah,
Yes. Well, speaking of foundational institutions, I'll tell you, as you know, I arrived here about 2 years ago,
2.5.
2.5 years ago, yes, from Fort Bragg. And one of our other universities is Hawaii Pacific University. When I arrived here, we only had two, which was Wayland and Hawaii Pacific. And now we have 6.
Yeah, 6. And so I'm not the greatest in math, but that means we have tripled the number of on-post schools since you came.
I'll tell you, that is amazing. You're right. I never thought about that,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but that's just awesome for our Ohana, for
yeah.
everybody we have here.
The number of options we're giving you guys. That's amazing.
It is absolutely. I will tell you that within all the 6 universities, I think anything that you want to do education related, I would find it hard to believe that you couldn't find it at one of those schools. However, I have to say that you're not tied to those schools. There's over 2,000 schools in Army Ignited, and you can choose to pursue post-secondary education or certifications at any institution that's within Army Ignited or is an approved certification
Mhm.
source. But let's move on to the schools. We left off there at HPU. So let me mention another one. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. They're one of the newer schools we have, and it kind of ties into something that we're going to talk about in testing. We'll mention a little bit later,
Yep.
dealing with the Federal Aviation Administration.
Yep. And last but not least, we have University of Hawaii at Manoa. We have their Scheidler College of Business. They are actually here on post as well. And I hear their executive business program is a pretty big deal.
Absolutely. I was really, I didn't know this when we approached them to come here and offer services at our education centers. But it turns out that their MBA, executive MBA program is one of the top in the country.
Yeah.
And they'll certainly help you as well if you're interested in pursuing bachelor degrees at University of Manoa or any of the other University of Hawaii campuses as
Yep.
well.
Yep. So that's a little tidbit on our on-post schools, and we're going to kind of move on, boss, to some of our other tenants that we have here, which is the VA, the Veterans Affairs. So they joined us not too long ago, and they have office hours here in our building. So we're happy to have that. Happy to have them. Sorry. We also have ROTC. Uh,
Absolutely excited to have ROTC here. Comes here once a month, does a briefing, and it's ROTC from University of Hawaii at Manoa, and he'll also help with OCS programming. So excited to have them on board.
Yep. And then just going down my list, we also have AMED. So if you're interested in, pursuing something, commissioning something in the medical field, we also have them coming twice a month. Once here at Schofield and another at Tripler. So they offer monthly briefings for our soldiers. And then we also have the FAFSA workshop. So speaking of HPU, Hawaii Pacific University, they offer one of their reps offers the FAFSA workshop. So that's, pretty much free money, financial aid, grants. If you've heard about the Pell Grant, we do have a workshop twice at Schofield, once at Tripler to assist you guys on completing the FAFSA application. It's open to pretty much everybody who has access to the base.
It
If
is.
you have a kid who's going to college that needs it, we can help your child, we can help you, we can help your spouse. But it is open and held here and at Tripler.
Yeah, Lisa, speaking of that, let's just go ahead and mention that every program we speak about, as long as you're eligible, but they're open to high school age or older and dependents, soldiers, everybody. When I say Ohana, I mean the entire family, the entire Ohana. So just the only age restriction is high school age or higher.
Yep. And then moving down that list, we got the warrant officers. So they do briefings here at Schofield Barracks. Can't forget our warrant officers. That's a really popular briefing.
Very popular. So basically, all these programs that we have are here not to help, not just to help the soldier individually, but it also reinforces and helps our Army because it makes our Army stronger. These former enlisted soldiers that become warrant officers, become pilots, uh, come back and become as commissioned officers. So it helps the individual, but it also continues to grow and make our Army better.
Hua. All right.
Oh, love
Hua.
that.
All right. Next down the list, we have a fully functional computer lab. We have about 13 computers for soldiers, but it's CAC enabled computer lab that we have for anybody that needs computer usage. All right. We also have a national testing center that's run by Hawaii Pacific University. Again, one of our on-post schools, and that's available here and at Tripler.
Yes, if you're interested in doing CLEP testing to get college credits for testing, or if you need a test proctored, We're very appreciative of HPU for hosting that for us.
Yep. And then we also have BSEP. BSEP, I'm sure we're going to talk about in one of our other segments, but that is something that we are very proud of, that we have expanded here in Hawaii. But that is also something that we have. We have, yes.
I will tell you, BSEP, I have to highlight BSEP. That is like our priority program here. Again, another program that helps the individual soldier, but also helps our Army. To increase your GT score to 110 or above, that is a minimum requirement for anything you want to do, whether you want to become a warrant officer or an officer or many of the other programs or reenlistment opportunities. And I'm here to tell you, as you know, Lisa, we have one of the best. I'm not going to say number one, but I know that average increase of whenever you came in, we are fifth in the Army and number one in the Pacific. I can't say that.
Hmm.
So excited to do another podcast specifically about BSEP in the future.
Correct. And speaking of BSEP, I hear that you might be a product of BSEP.
Oh my goodness, Lisa. All right. Yes, I am. I've actually attended BSEP. Like I like to tell the students, 40 years ago, I was you sitting in that classroom. So I am a former enlisted soldier. And as I like to say, I am a proud product of the Army's continuing education system, earning my bachelor's degree using tuition assistance on active duty at Fort Knox, uh, doing BSEP in Germany to go from a 109 to a 121 GT score, and getting out of the Army after I retired and using the GI Bill to earn my graduate work, which has allowed me to do what I do today, that I've been doing now for almost 20 years as an education services specialist within the Army.
And paying it forward.
Yes, paying it forward. That's what we're here. I
Yeah.
want to show the soldiers that yes, you can take advantage of all these things and you can be as successful as you want to be. It's up to you.
Yep.
Just use the programs.
Yep. And speaking of BSEP, we also have something to supplement and help with BSEP, which is our tutoring program, which is very unique.
Yes, very excited to have our tutoring program that is hosted by GCU. We're excited to have them and even more excited that they hired two full-time faculty members to do math and English tutoring. Again, that is available to everybody. We've had high school students that have come in for tutoring with math because they needed help with algebra. We've had soldiers come in because they were taking a college math class and they needed assistance. So it's open for everybody.
Yes. And folks, that is in person.
Yes, in-person tutoring.
In-person
Yes.
tutoring that we're providing for you guys. And we've had great success with our tutoring program so far. I think it's been a little less than a year, but we've had over 900 sessions, 900
900
tutoring
tutoring
sessions,
sessions.
not
Amazing.
even a year.
Yes.
And so it's definitely helped out a lot of folks. And I know that we've had some great feedback. But stepping a little bit further from that, we got ELA, our English language acquisition. So that's one of our newer initiatives.
Yes, I was so excited that we were able to get that going. English language acquisition is what they call it in Hawaii. Our audience may know it as English as a second language on the mainland, which is commonly known. So this program, as a matter of fact, our second class is actively going on right now in the evenings. Again, open to everyone. As you know, we have soldiers that English is not their first language. We have uh,
Spouses.
family members where English is not their first language. This is a great course, and we have different levels in the class to improve your English skills. And it also supplements and helps those students that need more help with English when it comes to the BSEP program. So they kind of all tie together. And again, helping our entire community.
Yeah, we have something for everyone.
100%.
And if we don't, let us know. Right? All right. And then let's see, let me go down my list. Oh, and we got our bread and butter, which is, I guess, the most what we do here at the Education Center and what we do best, which is our counseling services.
Counseling.
So, education counseling. For soldiers, we have tuition assistance, we have credentialing assistance, but for everybody, really. I mean, we have education counseling, career counseling. If you don't know what it is that you want to do, we have assessments available. We can do one-on-one counselings with you. We can do group counseling, whatever it is that you need, that's available for you.
No, Lisa, you're absolutely right. I think it's important to note that, yes, everybody knows that soldiers get $4,500 a year tuition assistance. Uh, and we know family members don't get that, although they do have CA. We'll talk about that in another segment. But we can certainly provide and do provide counseling services for everybody, spouses, children, everybody. With a perfect opportunity to, for high school kids that need help trying to decide what they want to do, or adults. Heck, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, even when I was in the Army. So our services are open to everybody, especially the counseling services.
Yep. And then following counseling, we do have the testing, which is probably equally important, which is our Army personnel testing that we have.
Yes, and let's clarify Army personnel testing. And just like most education centers across any Army installation, we offer all Army personnel testing, which is language testing, SIF testing if you want to become a pilot. But I will tell you, in testing, we have a new initiative that actually started today. So, what you may not know yet is that our Schofield Barracks Testing Center was designated as a FAA testing site. As a matter of fact, we had our first 3 testers today. They all passed, and they did what 3 tests did we do, or what test did they take, Lisa? Do you recall?
Yes, thank you for putting me on the spot. We had a aviation maintenance general knowledge exam, and we had 2 private pilot license exams,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
they all did
Yep.
very well.
And they all passed, and this was today. And so we are the only one on an Army installation. And let's just mention the importance of doing this on a military aviation. The aviation community, the Aviation Center of Excellence, has an MOU with the FAA where if qualified military personnel, or it could be dependents or veterans as well, um, take the exam on a military installation, it's absolutely free. They don't have to pay. So if you go off-site, you'd have to pay. You come to military installation, it's free. That's a brand new initiative. Literally, first testing was conducted today.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I think we can move on to our next segment, which is the why. Why take advantage? I mean, we do so much. We have a lot going on at our education centers. So why is it important for us to reach out to the community and let them know about what we have?
Well, I think one of the things that strikes me the most, and the most important to me, especially for service members moving and PCSing to different installations, I am here to tell you that we have programs here that you will not find at another installation. Uh, and while you're here, you need to take advantage, not just for yourself, but to improve our Army. For instance, our BSEP, we have instructors here. You may go to another installation, they won't have a BSEP program with instructors. They'll give you a link, go online and study on your own. Our tutoring program, I know of no installation right now that has a free face-to-face tutoring program that's free. So that's just 2 examples. But I'm telling you, so folks need to take advantage while they're here in paradise. Take advantage of your time here, and take advantage of these programs that we have are at your education center that you may not find at Fort Cavazos. You may not find at Fort Benning. You may not find at Fort Bragg. I will tell you, I know a couple right off the bat you're not going to find. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that because we are one Army, but you do need to take advantage of the #1 education center in the Army,
Sure. And
which
speaking,
is right here, by the way.
that's correct, yes. And again, Miss Karina, you want to say hi? Hi. She's one of our awesome team members here at the #1 Education Center. But with that, I think we're going to save everything else, all the goodies, for our next episode. We can't spill
No,
everything
no, no. We're
today.
going to let them know. Look, our next episode is going to be our priority program, which is the basic skills education program to help you improve your GT score. That is a program, as I said, it's not just good for the individual, it's good for our Army because it helps feed all the other programs within the Army. And that's going to be our next. So keep a lookout on the next episode of Hawaii.
Army education talk.
Yes.
But before we go, we just want to put a plug in for our social media that we have. So don't forget to follow us. Stay tuned for all the updates. When we get the next episode on this BSEP, that'll be posted on our social media. So follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Schofield Tripler Ed Centers. Just look us up.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Bob,
yeah,
you want to add
I'm going to
something
mention
to
something
that?
else. Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
add something to that, Lisa. Look, before we go, yes, look, know that we post every day.
Yes.
So we post pertinent information every day. So when you want to know about our next episode, it will be on there. But let me tell you something that we post every day. So if you want to improve your math skills, you want to improve your vocabulary, we post every day the math problem of the day and the word of the day. So just to simply improve your vocabulary and improve your math skills, we post every day. So look at that. That's why we're the best education center in the Army, because we service you here at the Education Center, but we're also putting stuff on social media to help you improve your vocabulary and your math skills.
And keeping them informed.
And absolutely, about policy changes, briefings, anything that's going on at your Education Center.
Yep. And with that, I think we could say mahalo.
Mahalo. Yes,
And
100%.
see you on the next episode.
See you on the next episode.
Peace.